And before we know it, we drift off into some form of sleep and arrive in Madrid. Now, in the terminal that we land in, this is the satellite terminal. I don't know if it's this particular flight or all international flights, but we have to go down the old-fashioned way on these stairs into a bus. But we get a great view of what an engine that is. But here we arrive in Madrid to hams, excitement, architecture, history, walking, eating, and culture. And we'll try to cover that all in the next 10 minutes or so. All right, here we have a pretty iconic building, the Metropolis building, here on the Gran Via on the right over there, which is like they're similar to, but much older than Times Square in New York. So it's always been like the fashion commercial district. Nice Rolex building behind that. All right, here we are in the Plaza Mayor of Madrid. All these look good in the daytime and really good at nighttime. And hey, behind me is the Palacio de Cristal, but today it's the Palacio de Scaffolding. It's an 1800s, 1880s crystal palace meant to resemble the one in London, although it's quite a spectacular itself. Would have looked great in this sunshine this morning, but menos mal. So it's run by the Reina Sofia now, and the Reina Sofia kind of looks like that under construction. So, all right, there's the symbol of Madrid, Puerta de Alcalá. All right, here we are. We made it to Paseo del Prado, and there's a book fair going on. So it goes on quite a while. Okay, a quick orientation of Madrid. Here's the airport. Here's Madrid. So it's rather close. The Retiro is this green part here. The Royal Palace is over here. So the way to get from the airport, you can take a cercanía. We took it all the way down to this one right here, Recoletos, and then from there we walked to our hotels. Let's zoom in. Now our hotel we stayed at was here in Plaza de Lealtad. Why we stayed there is the Retiro's here, the Museo del Prado's here. So that was high on our list. In fact, it was a required destination. So also from there, it allowed us to go past or be near the Puerta de Alcalá, which is an Instagram site. So you gotta go there, I guess. Fuente de Cibeles. Well, there's the Plaza Mayor, and that's a popular place to go. Puerta del Sol. And Puerta del Sol, it's a very popular place every street goes through there, so you're going to end up there more frequently than you realize. Plaza Mayor, then below Plaza Mayor is our favorite street for tapas, this one right here, Calle de la Cava Baja. So it's just lined with legitimate tapas bars. There are some quasi-legitimate tapas bars here, kind of touristy. You can get tapas at the Mercado de San Miguel, but that's hipster, Instagrammy tapas, which are probably fine. It's just overcrowded and noisy. The similar Instagram, but you got to do it anyway. The Chocolateria de San Ginés is right here also. So Plaza Mayor, just go north a little bit. It's hard to miss because there's 5 different doors you can go in for it. The Teatro Real. Now, if you don't want to go in and see a concert, you can see a concert outside right here. They project it on a big screen. The Royal Palace, which is Let me hover over that so you can see it real quick. Quite large, quite impressive. We walked 3/4 of the way around it. It takes a long time to walk around it. You had to order the tickets in advance. We didn't, so sad trombone. We did make it a point to go inside the cathedral. It's relatively new, so they do accentuate modern art in there, so it's quite nice. Some of the stained glass is quite spectacular. And there's a tribute to, or chapel for, Pope John Paul II in there. All right, so just north of here we have the Monument to Cervantes. This whole park is worth going into. There's often concerts here also. He has him sitting on his chair, and his two buddies, Don Quixote and Sancho Panza, are on statues there as well. The Temple of the Debod is here. This is that Egyptian temple that was moved here before it was flooded when they dammed the Nile. All right, so on the second time through, we stayed at Petite Palace Chueca, which puts us right on this Gran Via. This is the main thoroughfare. It's got theaters, it's got metros, it's got high-end stores, it's got popular stores, and it seemed like it had a ale hop every block. All right, so that's a quick overview of Madrid. Well, let's swing on by the cathedral first, maybe to confess our sins that we're about to divulge in too much food, gluttony, I think it's called. But inside here, it's quite like I mentioned earlier, the modern art. We can just dwell on and this is the chapel for Pope John Paul II, quite modern and nice, and one can light a candle there for that. And there, that on the right there, that's a drop of his blood. So they don't have the relic of any bones of his. So rather than that, he gave some blood, and that's the relic that's in this cathedral. So it's quite a spectacular interpretation. And is this Jesus talking to Obi-Wan? I don't know. You tell me. So it's a good visit. It's well worth the price because it is free to get in. Next up, the Museo de Reina Sofia. It's under construction, but the artwork inside is still worth visiting and viewing. And they let you take pictures. There's the Guernica. Still a marvel to view. It's sad that it had to be painted, but people here really appreciate it for its stark vision of what the war was like. This one I can describe or name, but I won't. And as I mentioned during the little map tour part, there is opera. We didn't pay to get in. There's the opera house behind. There's the Teatro Real, the Royal Theater. And here we have opera outside and the rapt audience standing by the metro station, the opera metro station, enjoying Otello in the park. Quite a cultural experience. Just walking around. We were on the way from one place to another, and we stood there for a while and watched. Now it is sung in Italian and subtitled in Spanish, so you're on your own. So enjoy. We did. And then you just go on to your food spot. Here's one of the hedgerows, a maze for short people. On my left is the National Cathedral of Spain, Almudena. And then on the right is the palace. Well, there's the Mercado San Miguel, and we're right next to the Plaza Mayor. And the restaurant behind us seemed to be popular with locals because they're all talking with their tetella and zapatos and cazuelas. So they're madrileños. Now here this is a little more touristy, but I do see most people are locals. But this is not a mercado like we saw in Valencia. It's strictly food stalls. Well, lucky us. We wanted to see a true flamenco show. Flamenco is more a thing of the southern part of Spain, but they do have places in Madrid that have legitimate flamenco, but those are kind of hard to distinguish between those and touristy ones, so we didn't really bother to try. However, today, the day we're visiting, is Spain Day, so they have this festival put on by this community from the south, and this is a particular performer, Eduardo Guerrero, who I had not heard of, but I've since researched. He is quite good in true flamenco. There's more of a modern kind of twist to it, but his feet were moving at such a speed. The crowd loved it. He could whip it up. And then it was followed by another fellow in a red outfit that quite spectacular, who I'd seen in a YouTube video during pandemic performing in the Prado Museum when nobody was allowed to go in there. So this is the Corral de la Mereria, which you can see their YouTube channel, and they post a lot of shorts and longer videos. No recent longer videos. I'm hoping they post this whole process here because they did have the cameras rolling. So sit back and enjoy. I'll just stop talking so you can see Eduardo and the other fellow perform. All right, there's the iconic Schweppes building on the Gran Via. This is the Gran Via. So this is the main attraction street. There's the Cines Callao. A lot of hotels, shopping centers, and people. There we go, Schweppes. Where's the Schweppes? There it is. There's the Schweppes. All right, here's the fancy elevator. So she's gonna ride it and I'm gonna watch. All right, you're gonna go up it? All right, up. And there she goes. There we go. Well, this video has its ups and downs, but let's end it right here. And you may have noticed that I haven't said like and subscribe. Well, like and subscribe. And I haven't posted anything about or shown anything about food. Well, as I said earlier, we had to confess our future sins of gluttony because food in Madrid and the rest of Spain is amazing. So I will post a separate video with the food. So in the meantime, go back to the beginning, watch again, and enjoy the sights and sounds of Madrid. And like the knight here does, give me a thumbs up. Dame una me gusta.